Hello and welcome to another edition of the Pinball Roundtable on the JBS Show channel here on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. I am in Tempe, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. I flew in just to see these guys because I love them so much. And I'm having the time of my life.
The band is back together already.
That's right. And yeah, we just recorded our first episode of part one of the Pinball Roundtable a couple of weeks ago at Stern.
Yeah, Chicago.
And it wasn't even a couple. It was 1 week ago.
I know. It's just literally just happened.
And that was so great that we thought, hell, let's do it again. We'd already planned this trip. We've been planning this trip for about 4 months.
Right.
And so here we are. So how the Pinball Roundtable is supposed to work is each of us are supposed to rotate hosting each particular week. But Cale decided that he was just going to give me all the notes and let me be the host. Is that what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, I like that feel. This is you're the captain of the show.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the captain.
Okay.
Captain Jamie.
Okay, so I'll be the captain, and we'll just use your nautical notes.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
And I'll steer the ship with your notes.
Let's do it.
I'm
All
ready.
right?
You're on the deck.
Ralph,
with
are you
your-
excited? Are we
Yeah,
ready for this?
I just showed up, so I'm good. I just got here, and I'm ready to go.
We've had a really good day already so far.
Man,
It's so
are you
fun.
kidding?
I mean, we had pie, we had some pizza.
Well, first of all, you surprised me. I'm crawling underneath
Yeah.
a machine, and
I saw a guy with these giant calves, and I said, that's got to be Cale Hernandez.
right, and I military crawl out from under a machine, and you're an hour and a half early.
Yeah, I know. I
was
know.
like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
the
you showed
flight
up too early.
landed 25 minutes early, that doesn't happen.
You're very punctual, though. You know,
I am
and
a punctual person.
He's very punctual. It's good.
You
It's
know,
good.
I don't
It's
F
good
around
quality.
with that. It is a good quality
It's
to
good
have,
quality.
but drives my wife a little nutty because I hate being late.
And I think I stress you out because I'm
You're
not
always
that
late.
punctual.
No.
No, I'm not late. I come in. You could call it fashionably late. That's a West Coast thing, kind of.
I
fashionably
believe
late.
in 15 minutes early is on time.
Yeah.
That's
good
how I
job.
work. All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Cale's notes.
I'm ready.
You ready to start about the first one? About Electric Bat with Evil Dead and Bug and Spooky? You want to talk about that?
Let's go. Tell me
Yeah.
about it.
Well, first of all, this is my first time at the bat, and it is absolutely everything you've said it is. It is so fantastic.
I don't lie.
No, dude, it's so fantastic. Rachel, just seeing her and seeing you both in your element, it's just, I'm having the time of my life. We brought John Spates with us, and John is just hammering them with operator questions.
He's got quite a few questions.
He's hammering
Yeah,
you.
Very
It
curious.
really is.
Hey, he could submit those to the mailbag.
Right.
If,
Or we should charge him.
Well, he figured he got on a plane and flew over
Right,
here.
right,
Maybe
right.
he can get some free consulting advice. I mean, that's not too bad.
No,
right?
no. I'm here for it.
So he was talking earlier to me on the plane. He was talking about how Spooky has just done so well with Evil Dead. And in 4 weeks, their Evil Dead has outgrossed everything else on their floor, their
Right.
20 machines there. What's your experience with Evil Dead?
We are beyond impressed with the durability so far. You know, the games here, they get rode hard and put up wet. And the this thing, man, has been getting a ton of play, and we have had zero issues with it. And that's the first thing we're impressed with.
Right.
I do not know. I know I'm emptying the machine out, so I know it's earning a ton. But I haven't looked at the audits, and I'm not, and you know it'll be the end of the month before we get some hard data. But it's looking good. But more importantly, man, this thing, it doesn't even feel like a Spooky. I mean, it just feels so damn good. These shots are amazing. The flippers don't feel mushy like they have in the past. I don't know what's going on there, but these guys are.
They got it dialed in, don't they?
yeah, they really did.
Yeah,
They really did.
100%.
And I'd say, like, from coming here I come every Tuesday for the tournament night. And you know, when a new game comes here, I always feel like lines. There's always lines for the new game. And you guys usually don't I appreciate that you don't usually put the new game in the tournament right away just because
Right.
you wanna get the people here playing it. But I usually have a game every week that I want to play after tournament night's over. And the
Right.
games that have been hard to get on lately would have been like D&D and now Evil Dead. And I think that's always a good sign because people are interested in the game. Not only does it seem
For sure.
like it's well built, but people want to play it.
Yes.
And so like I've had to wait in line to play it, which is cool though. Like I don't mind doing that because it's worth the wait. I think they just did a really good job, and I ended up getting one. So so I'm excited about that. Yeah.
This is big news.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is exciting news. So you're coming to the bat just like you have another customer that comes, another
I don't have it
patron
yet.
that have one on order, but you're getting your fill in now.
Yeah, it's just a fun. I don't know, like there's, and I'm not even like. Here's where I think if you can do this, like you're winning, right, in pinball.
Right.
If you can come out with a theme that I'm not even really that interested in, and then I love it so much because the gameplay is good, and then I get a little bit more curious about the property because it's so well done. Like that's good, and I could argue that like I'm not Rachel plays D&D, like you or you guys do some table games, right? I don't do that, and I love D&D. It's like my second favorite game right now,
Right.
And so I don't know. I just think they knocked it out of the park to make a theme interesting and approachable when maybe it might be a little outside of the norm. Like it's definitely, I wouldn't call Evil Dead mainstream. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call it like
for sure. I've never even seen either movie.
I've never seen either movie.
So it's a
and
very
I
campy.
dig that machine.
Yeah, it's a very like campy kind of like cult classic. But for them to sell as many as they did, like I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm fanboying too hard, but I just think they did a really good job. So they do deserve the credit
For sure.
I think their press, if you look at their trading stock, Spooky's trading pretty high right now.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
So congratulations. to
Right.
them.
And I really got to give it to Bug. I got a message on my Instagram before we received our Evil Dead, and he's like, it's from the Spooky Instagram. He's like, hey, this is Bug. Cale, can I get your phone number? Because I want to keep up with, and like, I want to know how Evil Dead is performing. I want like any input you have. I want it. And now we chat with each other every week.
That's awesome.
And I'm just telling him, what's going on with the game. It's going very well. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's just great and I know Luke does the same thing. You see him on Facebook, on all kind of social media, really interacting with people, and that is so important this day and age. With
I agree.
Where these people that run these companies can actually talk to the customers directly.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How is Christopher Francie going to say you're a shill if you have this machine? I mean, how is that possible?
Does Chris say that?
He did for a while. You know, it was funny because I had a podcast where I sort of like, I didn't call him out because that's not really my personality,
Right.
but I was like, hey, I go, he trolls me anytime he wants to, and then I complimented him, which was authentic. I said, but man, you killed it on the artwork on that thing, and then he did respond back, so I think we're cool now.
Okay.
But he's like, look, I wasn't saying it, I was just having fun with you. So it he sometimes maybe went a little aggressive with the wording, but I'm cool enough that I know.
I'm
like,
just
I can
having
take
a
it.
joke here,
Yeah, I
right?
can take
I'm not going after Chris Francie,
no,
but
no,
what
but
I'm
his
saying
artwork
is Christopher just did a
nailed
phenomenal
it.
job. It is beautiful.
That's
It
the
is.
segue.
It's super pretty, and that's
He
not
killed
even.
it.
And you guys don't even have the butter cabinet version of it.
Right.
And it looks pretty. The butter cabinet's next level.
Right.
Really?
Imagine if we had the butter cabinet.
So the
Right.
butter cabinet is, to my understanding, is think about a Jersey Jack Radcal, but like we print it directly on the cabinet,
Wow.
and then they clear coat that, so it is
Right.
like real durable. It could you could like knock it into stuff, and you don't have to worry about it getting scuffed up. But it just looks, and that looks amazing. You saw what that looks like. So think the butter cabinet is like a step up from
Right.
that.
It's Jamie. It's that and more.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I got
okay.
it. I got it.
All right. Good.
All right, I'm going to move us along, okay? I want to talk about D&D progression versus points because we just spent an hour on D&D.
What a great topic.
Well, again, I'm just steering the ship that you gave us the directions here,
Okay.
sir.
Not that I need the credit, but this was my
Oh,
contribution.
I'm sorry. Okay. We have a shared notes, and I kind of like to go on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, so I tend not to read the notes for the podcast.
It's fine.
But these
no
two
one reads anymore.
have done an excellent job on this episode of making sure we're clear and concise.
Right. You're welcome.
So we spent about an hour today. The three of us and John put, I think, 4 games on it, and I had not played the premium since we had been to Stern.
Yeah.
Because Eureka Heights as a pro.
Yeah.
God, it's fun.
Isn't it great?
Well, also having the two of you coach me. especially Ralph, because he's got it at home and he's putting up some serious points, and he's
I've been playing
in
it
the
a lot.
wizard mode, and you're
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of kicking
loving it.
ass and taking names. So let's talk about it. Progression, points.
Yeah, I mean that game to me, it's like you could play that game for points, but to me that game's more about going through the story and then like completing whatever part of the story you need to in each city you're in, right? And then when you're done, you're going on to the next. But the cool thing is like that story evolves as you get to different cities and you complete different modes. So to me, it's not really a point chasing game, but you could play it that way if you wanted to. It's more of I'm curious about the story that Stern has come up with, and I'm enjoying completing the modes because as I do, I'm uncovering more about like what is going to happen in this world that Stern's created around the D&D property, which it's just really cool.
Right.
So I think my opinion would be that they've done two brilliant things with D&D. One, they brought a whole new crowd of people playing pinball that normally wouldn't play
And you
pinball.
guys have sort of like seen that here, right?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. I think the second thing that they did is they took your friend Kelly. Let's say your friend Kelly that we play Call of Duty with, probably the best Call of Duty player I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Right.
So that would be a game that I could see Kelly getting into if he wasn't a pinball player because he plays COD, he levels up his players.
He loves
he
Oblivion.
loves leveling up his guns. He levels prestiges all the time.
Yeah.
This is a tailor-made game for the gamer that progresses their character.
Yeah, well, and I think someone that's into video games is going to dig this because it's like in a video game. Like you kind of have, I don't want to say that D&D has side quests, but there are things you can go do that are like bonus things. You're not necessarily progressing the story, but it's like a fun thing for you to do. You know, like the Tavern Brawl thing, that's a fun,
That
like
is
added.
a fun little side thing. And I just saw that recently.
Yeah,
Because I
it's cool.
suck at the game. I can't find the shots yet,
You were
dude.
actually, I always play better when someone can say, like, if it's a game I don't know, like when we went to Stern to see Metallica Remastered, there's a buddy of mine, I call him my pinball wizard. Like whenever he's there, he's like, do this, do that, do this. And he's not intrusive in the way he does it. He's not like, you're stupid for doing this. But I feel like I enjoyed that game so much more. But you started, like, you were doing real well toward the end of that. So
Yeah,
I think
I'm
you
finding
are
the shots.
Yeah. You got to work
I
on your
still-
shield usage a little bit.
Dude.
It's tricky. But just like in real life, it's tricky. You have to know when to pull out your shield.
You just do.
You know?
You just do.
Yeah.
You need
And the
a
quick
good
hit
shield.
is like the shield, right? Because if someone's shooting something at you or whatever, the shield's
Right.
not going to be something you slowly put up. You're going to put that thing up quick.
It's just
You know?
I don't know how Dwight could fix this, and I don't think there is a fix, right? And maybe it's not broken. Maybe it's me. Okay, it probably is me. But my instinct is to slam the hell out of that button, and guess what that does?
It shoots your
It
long
shoots your arrow.
Yeah.
And
Your
You
ranged
just
weapon.
hold
Ranged
it-
weapon.
You hold it for a little too long, but that honestly, I didn't like this about it when we were at Stern, and Dwight was like, "No, it's the right move."
Because
But now I get it because now I know how to use it.
the
so
only other option, what you want, is about 5 buttons on the lock bar.
that could be good for me, actually.
Right.
Or 2 buttons. What about 2 action buttons?
It's too much. We have
too
to
much.
keep it simple.
Because then you'd hit the wrong one, right? You'd hit the right, and you get pissed about
I don't
that.
know which one it is.
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
think they
blah.
did
Play
it.
Call of
They
Duty.
did
I'm
it
used
left
to
to the
multiple
right.
buttons.
Yeah.
So do you feel like here's the counter to it being more of a progression based game? This is where like we're gonna find out whether this is an issue in the long game. Is that right now the game's not fully coded yet, so people can finish the game right now, and the reason why they can finish the game is because even if you're like a moderate skill level player, as long as you're progressing through the modes, you don't have to play them again.
Right.
So do you think?
So you showed us that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to
When you
Retro
select-
Ralph's character and you look at the character, if you had selected that potential character, you would be a shot away from wizard mode.
It would have automatically started the wizard mode,
okay.
which is the ritual of the chosen. I think is what it's called. That's what it's called. But
So
but
you had to use a different character, so it wouldn't do that?
Well, we just didn't
yeah,
want to see the wizard.
But you
Or-
can reset your characters.
yeah,
You
or
know that?
when you select your character, like let's say you have a character that's all leveled up, right?
Can
And
you
you're ready to.
prestigious that?
All you do is when you're selecting, you hold the action button down, and now that player starts. Even it doesn't erase your progress; it just starts that game ignoring your
Right.
progress.
Okay.
So case in point, we played a 4-player game, right?
Yeah.
And you guys all kicked my butt because I'm stuck in a dungeon with my character.
Right.
So in the second game we all played, I was like, screw that. I'm starting off fresh. And I absolutely smoked you guys.
Yeah.
Because I just went for the points. I wasn't
Yeah.
worried about progressing. It has the best of both worlds.
Well,
Yeah.
and if you wanted to be cheap on the game, like you could start fresh, right? Never go into a mode and just spam Dragon multi-ball if all you cared about was points.
Right.
But I don't think that'd be that fun. It's like a combination of both.
So real quick, off subject on this, for tournament play, do you let people? Do you put it on competition mode or? Because you don't want someone getting a wizard mode.
We just don't let you log in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can log in on ball too.
Right.
They do the same for Venom. Like if you play Venom in a tournament here, it says like, do you want to start with saved progress? You're supposed to just select no.
Okay.
We do that, and then we have to watch out for all the topper modes. We have to make sure those
that
aren't.
makes sense.
Make sure those aren't.
Okay, that
on.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you guys think that it's going to be an issue later on? Like, do you think for the home buyer, they're going to get sick of it because they can beat it easier than like the typical game? Because some games you'll never see the end of, right? Like,
I'll never see
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. I'll never see that.
Now, what if you took Jurassic Park? Would you think Jurassic Park would be less popular, knowing that it's code complete right now, right?
And just escape from
What if when you progress through the game, you didn't have to play that mode again? You'd definitely beat Jurassic Park, right?
Yes.
But would that make the game less fun?
Ooh. Probably Jurassic Park, because there's just one. You don't have the 4 different characters that you could try to level up, and maybe Dwight will fool around with prestige in your character, and if you prestige your character, you get an extra couple of arrow shots or some crap.
Right.
I mean,
Why I bring this up is it is going to be interesting to see where Stern applies this and where they don't apply this. Because like King Kong, they didn't. I did ask when we were talking about King Kong. I said, "What are you going to do for Insider Connected?" They kind of gave me a non-answer. They were like, "We're doing something, but maybe it's because it's still in development." They didn't say. But the way we played it, it didn't save your progress in King Kong. It was a new game every time, you know? So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what games they might say, hey, this could be a cool one to do the saving of the progress.
I think Pokemon's the next one they're going to do the same.
Here we go.
Right,
we went there.
We did talk about this at dinner, and I do think, even though my initial reaction was, I'm not that interested in Pokemon, you're so, like...
So I wasn't interested in Pokemon until I had dinner with Cale and Rachel. And
Cale
then
did kind of sell us on it, didn't he?
Oh,
He
my
kinda
God.
did.
I mean, you getting commissions off of those if they come out?
We don't even know if there is a Pokemon in the works.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, just discllamor, no one knows
No
that.
one knows. We don't have a clue.
We have no
Someone
clue.
might know.
No
but
one has given us that side information yet. But no,
I said no one here knows
no,
We don't. We really don't.
We really
people.
don't. And I just think
I feel like the more you say we don't, everyone's going to think you do. We really, truly don't, though.
Seriously know nothing. Zero. But by playing D&D and seeing the capabilities that they've created, don't you think that makes total sense for that game?
For a game like that.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have to collect them all.
You got to collect
And
them.
and the only way to do that is to save your progress.
Yeah.
And you know the little Pokemons, they evolve over time.
I don't know
keep track of that.
anything about it. My kids played it.
You're gonna love it.
Really, when you kind of got me a little bit excited about this, even though I really don't care about Pokemon, because this could be a really cool way they do something neat with it. Because imagine if they keep. I don't know the whole world, so I'm gonna probably say stupid stuff right now, but like there's a whole bunch of like characters in that universe, right?
Correct. Little creatures.
Is there enough of them that you could like on a monthly basis add 1 or 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's tons of them, right?
Tons and tons of them. And think about these battles. You know, you go into, you fight these little creatures, right? And so, like, okay, so you get into a mode where you have to fight this creature. Then you pick one of yours, depending on your play style. You know?
Imagine if you could play, I could play with you, and I have a Pokemon that you want, and if you beat me, you get it?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that'd be next level shit to be able to steal someone else's stuff. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're all in now.
Let's go.
I think it's
Go on,
funny that
Stern,
at
you got to
dinner,
do this.
I think it's funny that at dinner we were like, and then you and Rachel were like kind of passionate about it.
Yeah.
And Rachel and I do not play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Years ago on like the Game Boy Advance, I played it on there, or the.
Rachel's saying something. What is it, Rachel? Were you talking to us? Oh, I'm hearing things. Okay, no problem.
She's over there repinning the connectors on a Stern
hot in
Galaxy.
here.
Yeah, it's a little warm,
Pokemon
isn't it?
talk is making me kind
Welcome
of
to
hot and
Arizona,
bothered.
boys.
Whew.
By the way,
Yeah.
speaking of Arizona, we do have a sponsor tonight.
Oh, really?
Everyone's getting sponsors for their podcasts, and I think it's time
What do
me
you
and you get our sponsor for tonight's
what is-
podcast.
what is your
It's
sponsor?
a free sponsor.
Okay,
They're
free
not giving us any
sponsorship.
money. We just love them so much.
Okay.
Okay, so I come here and my mouth is instantly dry from the ridiculous amount of lack of humidity
No,
here.
you didn't expect this. It's really like living on Mars.
Yeah.
You've been
And
to
it's
Arizona
April.
before, no?
I've been to Arizona. I've been to Grand Canyon. I've been to Flagstaff.
Just a shock.
I just didn't remember that my lips were going to feel like I had kissed the sun this quickly.
Ooh.
And what saved me was my friend Cale was constantly using this lip balm.
Yes.
And
Exclusively.
exclusive lip balm.
One type of
One
lip balm.
type of lip balm. And I went and grabbed it out of my backpack.
Right.
The same lip balm.
What do you have?
I have pin balm, ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
I
wow,
have
pin
mine right
balm.
here. I'm going to apply it right now. Just so
curiosity,
you can see the difference.
Is this the official lip balm of pinball players?
It
the
is
official.
the official.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to her. I don't remember her name. I'm really sorry. You're the loveliest person on the planet. You came up to me.
You're making me realize my lips are really dry. I don't want to be awkward. I'm not going to put my lips on your lip
Just
balm,
put
but
your
can I
finger
just?
on it. Put your finger
Yeah.
on it.
It's just weird for me to finger your lip balm, but I'm gonna.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I
You
just
don't
wanted
have
to
anything
give,
weird,
give
right?
them
It's
a
really
shout out.
good, yeah.
She's absolutely lovely.
yeah.
She came up to us at Expo.
Hooked us
It's
up.
got like a nice little scent.
It's
to
a little
it, too.
tingy. It's lovely. And they are the official sponsor of the JBS show. And so thank
The
you so much.
unofficial official.
Well, she hasn't given me any
She
money
should.
yet.
That'd be
so-
cool. Dude, right now, you don't even realize at your house. Boop, boop, boop. This 18-wheeler's gonna dump
Right.
off like 100 pounds of this stuff.
I've been using it nonstop since I've been here because my lips are on
I'm very dry at the
different
moment
planet.
too.
So,
Man,
all right, let's move on. You know what? Let's talk. We need to continue our conversation with Harry Potter. We had a long conversation last week about Harry Potter. Caused a little waves. Let's talk about it a little more, okay?
That's what we do.
All right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it is going to be the next major release that comes out, right?
Yeah.
that's
we know
exciting.
this.
So
These are the things we know.
yeah, we know it's the next one. We know that everyone else has already released everything, so
Right.
there isn't another. I mean, the only other company that was supposed to release something was
Predator.
Pinball Brothers, but I think the tariffs have sort of put a little bit of a temporary
Yeah.
stop to that. So we'll
Right.
see what happens.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, but I think we talked when we squared off on Harry Potter. I think we all had a slightly different opinion, like of if we thought it was going to be successful, how big was the IP. Like we kind of went all over the place. So, what do you think? I mean, I think I have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for JJP, even though I haven't owned one ever, because I
Okay.
feel like the one thing that you can't deny from them is they make like pretty beautiful machines. They look really nice. Like, wouldn't you say aesthetically their machines
Oh,
are
they're
all
beautiful.
very pretty?
Yeah, very pretty.
But I don't feel like, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I just don't feel like they had one of those games that came out that literally every single pinball enthusiast was like, I need to own that. They've had like glimmers, right? Like they've had a couple of successes, but like I always felt like Pirates of the Caribbean would have been that, but it seems like, I don't know. I was trying to do the research. You guys probably know better than me. It seemed like they initially brought it to shows and they were really trying to show it off in a prototype phase. And everyone was all obsessed with the 3 discs, and then they took the 3 discs out.
Right.
So it got it weird. It kind of like screwed the game for some reason, I think, or
Yeah.
at least. But anyway, so like, what do you still stand by? In that podcast, the last one, you kind of said that you just weren't sure how commercially successable it would have been. That it's going to
Right,
be.
and I understand that the IP is massive.
Yeah.
It is gigantic. But, I mean, when you really think about it, what Jersey Jack game has been a smash success? I mean, everybody talks about Pirates, right? It's an amazing game. You can't get it. They're way too expensive now. Was that a smash success? I don't know. I think, we don't know what the numbers are like, but it kind of sounds like Guns N' Roses was their biggest hit, right? And I don't know.
And isn't that, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the last time they dabbled in the idea of making an arcade version, right? That was
Correct. And they said that wasn't a success and why they would never do it again. But here we are with the arcade version. And maybe this one.
Maybe they listen to you.
Maybe they listen to me.
It's
And this
very
is going to be the
possible.
hit. You know, and they owe me a little money, maybe a free
Maybe.
machine.
Little residuals per game. Yeah.
But maybe now that it looks like they are focusing on the general public now with this one, a $10,000 Jersey Jack machine,
And one that they're saying is not going to be lacking anything. Other
supposedly
than,
it's the same gameplay.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's going to be impressive, especially if they can get more of these on the streets. I mean, it's no secret. Just check pinball maps. Look at the how many.
Yeah, they're not there.
They're not there.
By the way,
They
I don't know that this is factual, but I'm gonna. But I did read it somewhere that Jersey Jack. So Gary always says that 70% of their market is home buyers.
Right.
I can't validate the stat, but I heard something that Jersey Jacks is like over 90. So they're really
I believe
not.
that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's kind
totally.
of what they and I
Yeah.
think that's always been their
That number
focus
doesn't
anyway.
surprise me
Yeah.
Not a
either.
bit. That's what I figured it was.
But like, do you think that somewhere over there they had a meeting and they were like, look, we can't ignore the locations anymore. We gotta and we're Harry Potter's a big IP. Let's try it out again.
No question.
I mean, that's what it's got to be. But I do think there's benefit to them if they can get more on location because, Stern is just like a common name. Everyone knows
Right.
it. If you see it in our space.
I can tell you this: when the first Jersey Jack that Rachel and I actually purchased to put in the electric bat, it actually sold machines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because our players would come in here and go like, "Man, this game is so cool." I know it sold at least 3 machines.
What game is that?
Well, it was Godfather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I know. I mean, that works. Now that's a small sample, right?
Sure.
But if you get more of these machines in front of people and that enthusiasts who are
Yeah.
in arcades, I mean, that's what they love. A lot of them. For the Godfather thing, they didn't really even care about the IP. I've never even seen one Godfather movie. Does that surprise you?
Yeah. That's,
All right.
That's,
I knew it would. But
it's embarrassing.
yeah, we turned people onto this game, and it actually sold machines for them.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? So do you feel like, I mean, Kale's, do you feel like you're warming up to the fact that do you think this game will be maybe not a smash hit, but do you think it'll do well?
No, but what's
overall?
the thing? Like, how do you define smash hit? Are they going to sell
That's
more
true.
than
That's a good
Godzilla's?
point.
I mean, no way in hell.
Yeah. I
mean,
guess that is hard to
you're
define
right.
because
Is
all
it-
these companies are private. They don't really they don't tell us what their numbers
Sure,
really
they're
are.
not going to sell more than
Godzilla
Stearns
was
made
the-
Star Wars.
Godzilla was the perfect storm of
Right.
right before COVID. Smash hit. Keith Elwin.
Sure. But this is another thing to think about, and I don't. Nobody's told me this, but we all hear that Star Wars is the #1 selling modern Stern. Maybe this is Jersey Jack's Star Wars.
Like it's going
Yeah.
to be their biggest. It'll
right.
be their
They're
biggest
going to
game.
sell it for the next 8 years or something.
Yeah.
Depending on because it seems like that Harry Potter in some way, whether it be a book, a television show, or a movie, is going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the storyline and all that, but it kind of seems that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I went back and watched because I think there's some new series that's going to start soon.
Right.
But I went back and watched them, and it was interesting because I watched them with my kids. Like my kids were into it.
Yeah.
And when I went back and watched them, I was like, man, these movies are really good. I just didn't revisit them because it was more of like my kids' thing. It wasn't my
Right,
thing I
right.
was nostalgic for. It was like now my kids do have maybe a little bit of nostalgia for it. So it'll be interesting because like if we want to get into like who the people are that are buying these for your house,
Right.
I think we'd all be outside of the age range of Harry Potter, but we might have watched it or got into it through kids or just through word of mouth. I mean, it's wizards and fantasy stuff, so I mean, it's all
Sure.
stuff we probably would be into, but it's not like it was a thing we grew up with. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, I got into it for the kids.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, just totally.
But
Would I
it
buy
does
it for my
interest
kids?
me.
I mean, I love them, but I don't love
Yeah.
them that much.
But it does interest me though. Like I want to see what they're going to do with it, and I do think that they know. Like they're not. All these companies know what they're going up against. Like they 100% knew that Kong was coming out at this time. There's no way that insider they don't
Right,
know
right.
that. So I think they know. Like this has to be big. Like we need to put our best foot forward on this thing. So I'm curious. I really am curious. I think it'll probably be pretty good, but we won't know till we all see it. So
When do you think we'll see the teaser, the trailers, all these things? Do we have any idea? But nobody knows, right?
I mean, there's people that keep trying to say that it's going to be like next week aligned with there's like a Harry Potter day, but I mean, if we just went based on what's publicly out there, it
I
doesn't
didn't know
look
about
like
the Harry Potter day.
Nobody does.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, it's like I didn't either. I just heard it.
So it's kind of like what is Star
May
Wars?
4th.
Yeah,
May
it's-
4th.
May
and
the
there's
4th.
March 10th is Mario Day.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
that,
okay.
but I
Yeah.
didn't know there was a Harry Potter day either. But
Yeah.
I don't
And there's
think
something called 420. I've heard. I
I'm not familiar with that.
Right? Yeah.
Not familiar with that, Mom.
I don't know.
My mom started listening.
Right.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey,
isn't
Mom,
that-
how's it going?
Isn't that
Hey.
wonderful? Say hello to
Yep.
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie, welcome.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Would you ask when are we going to see it? I don't have
So
no
it
idea.
seems it's rumors that I'm hearing. We're gonna see something. It seems like something next month.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think it's sometime in May, but
Right.
who knows when? But it's definitely got to be sometime in May because
That's
they
what I'm
wouldn't have
thinking, yeah.
have started to do the whole like public facing stuff
Mm-hmm.
and then not drop something at least within the next like 30 to 45 days.
But here's the thing. Even if they don't drop anything for like 2 months, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it does either.
I
yeah.
don't think with that IP it matters.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Like take
garbage.
your time and do it right.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's not going to be garbage. They're going to make it great. It's going to be beautiful.
Right.
God bless JP.
Man.
Don't make it happen.
We love it.
Well,
They're gonna
we'll
make it
find
happen.
out
I mean,
soon
it's
enough.
just, they're a toy company. How can you hate these guys?
That's the thing. We joke all the time about the fact that we are doing podcasts and Twitch streams and all these things for big man toys.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's really what we're doing. And when people lose their mind on toy people, I just find
what's
it.
going on?
What are we doing? These guys are toy
there's
manufacturers.
certain podcasters out there that just like they're shitting on all these people, not going. These dudes are just making toys.
They're making toys.
and you're being negative about
Yeah.
it. I mean,
They're
come
supposed to
on.
be pretty fun.
mean-
but these toys are getting pretty damn expensive. So I think that's a good segue to your other point is pinball getting too expensive, boys?
So I want to. You and I talked about this.
Yeah, we did a little bit of
You did research. We separately. We didn't know we were each doing some research.
Okay.
I went back and looked at the price of Addams Family when it was released.
Okay.
And then compiled my data into a calculator. I found it online,
Which would have inflationary.
which would have
number.
inflation.
Okay.
And we are
See, I graduated college.
we're
people.
below what they should be if it would have
Yeah.
it would have tracked. And you found the same information using some other data.
The only one that you could legitimately make an argument for is overpriced would be the LEs. Everything else
right.
has fallen below inflation. I only did my data from 2015 to current.
Okay.
And so everything was the pro was significantly lower than inflation by like 10% or something. The premium was still under. The LE was the only one that was over inflation. I think that's the only one. And I
Right,
buy
right.
these too. Like I buy LEs, but if your mindset is like I'm in modern pricing, at least on the LE, if your mindset is I'm buying this as this investment that's going to make money, then you probably shouldn't buy the LE because
Okay.
the other ones you may lose a little bit, but you're going to be more even. So if you're someone that cycles through your collection quickly, then I would say an LE would be probably not the right one to get, unless because the only ones that have held.
Unless you have such a fear of FOMO that you want it first, right?
Well, that's part of If your
Okay.
selection criteria is like, look, I know I'm going to lose money, but I want it now, then I mean,
Then
then
forget
you're
it.
you're,
Right,
you're
right.
then you're doing that up front. But the only games modern LEs that have held is Metallica remastered, but they only made 500 of those, so that was kind of and then it seems like Jaws LE is still holding
okay.
as well. But
But
everything
you're
else,
talking very modern. Like I mean, you
yeah, I was this was
like
all
an Iron Maiden LE.
I don't know. I didn't look
Okay.
at those. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because those were
there's-
cheaper priced, right?
So there's like two sides of the coin here. When you look at the data, pinball is not too expensive. These
No,
these
yeah.
are commercial pieces of machinery that now, let's just look at Stern, 70% of the public can afford. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks for, our economy has been doing well for a long time
Yeah.
and it is doing well. The fact that, all of these people can afford to have these expensive commercial toys in their home.
What would you call it? Like, I still think it's like a high end toy, though, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it would still be. It's a high-end thing. It's not
They
like
used to sell them as Sharper Image.
Yeah.
They sold Lord of the Rings as Sharper Image. It was like a high-end toy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
A high-end collectible.
Overall, I don't like. Sure, pinball is an expensive hobby, but I don't think if you go back to new in box to what you're saying, it still was expensive then. And,
big time.
So it's not like it's ever really been cheap. You could argue that like the secondhand market and the used stuff, you can, but that's like me saying I could go pick up a Pac-Man from Bandai Namco right now, that's like $4,000, or I could go buy an original Pac-Man, from someone selling it on, and I could probably get that for like $800 if I looked at the right places. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, these are cheap, because they're definitely not cheap.
Correct.
But I do think they've fallen a little bit below inflation. So I think the current pricing, at least on the lower tier models, is fair for current times.
Right. The big thing is you have two sides of the coin here. Are pinball machines too expensive? We can look at the data. No, for what they are, they're not too expensive, right? But then you have the people, and Jason from the Pinball Party. Go check him out. Pinball Party podcast. He's my boy. But I'll bust his balls a lot when he complains about the price of the pinball machines, and he's been priced out of it. But he hasn't been priced out of it. It's just the secondary market is not working the way it used to, to where he could get a machine. And other podcasters have talked about this, a couple of them. You can no longer buy a machine, I think whether it's premium, LE, whatever, and then flip it and not
like
lose
the next day,
not lose money. You can no longer do that.
That's right.
I never did that, but I'm hearing you can't do that anymore.
So the last game when I bought Jurassic Park, you could still do that. I didn't lose money, but I didn't make a bunch of money. Foo Fighters, actually, believe it or not, when I first bought it, I don't know what it was. I didn't give Foo Fighters a chance. I love it now, but at the time, I also didn't really love the code on it. I love it now. I actually sold that to Cobra Arcade Bar for the exact price I paid for it.
Win-win.
But that's not common that much anymore. Usually you're going to take a little bit of a loss on the game if you buy it new and think you're going to sell it like the next day. But the one argument, though, just to kind of there's another side of this. The other side is this part's tough because it really depends on what you really enjoy about a pinball machine. But there are people that say, look, I don't think it's too expensive, but the price now, they compare what's in a game now, mechs and toys versus what was in before. And so they feel that the games are getting stripped of things like, all right, instead of a sculpt, I'm going to put a plastic, or I'm going to put less mechanical things in it. So there are a group of people, and that argument is valid, that they say, I don't feel like it's worth that price because you don't put as much stuff in it that you used to. So that is valid. I can't argue that, really. There are less things in it. But I like the way a game shoots and the flow and that kind of thing. So those mechanisms mean less to me. But I've also had people tell me how stupid I am, that's dumb, and that the mechs make the game. But they don't for me. That's just my personal preference. Yeah. Your Jaws Pro you have, I have just as much fun on that Jaws Pro as I do on the Premium. And it just flows. You said it. You go, man, this game flows so well.
You
were
playing well, too.
Which doesn't happen very often, so I appreciate you saying that.
It was nice because you were playing well, and he hit that flow going. So, look, prices are
But what do you think about that point? The less stuff in it, so therefore they don't feel like they're getting the value out of it. Because you can't. That's someone's opinion.
Less stuff. I mean, can we say that with Stern? I mean, look at Iron Man is out there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it had the mech that pops up, and it has a magnet that shoots the ball back toward the flippers. I mean,
I think they're talking because what's Iron Man was 2000 and early.
I'm not sure.
It's early.
Before I got into
I think
the pinball
I think when
industry.
people make that argument, they're talking about the last 10 years of Stern stuff.
So Lord of the Rings compared to
because Lord of the Rings was packed to hell, right?
Yeah. So they use that one a lot, I find.
Yeah, and I can see that though. But I don't know. I look at let's talk about X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. That. Yeah, you don't get the things that bust down the wire form or the finger thing, and the head doesn't come up and down, but that head is still the same head. So you're making a little bit of a concession, but I don't feel like when I look at that play field, I'm like, oh man, it's super stripped. I don't, at least.
No, on a pro?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty packed pro.
I think that's like the most expensive Pro they've ever made. Like, I mean,
Like,
the cost
build
of
yeah.
what's in it.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I really do think like a Seth Davis and the new crew over there. Because if you look at D&D, you could argue I don't the dungeon thing is cool and the dragon head moving it
Absolutely.
all
But the
animatronic
Pro
is cool.
D&D is
but it's
badass.
still good, right?
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
really good.
And do you look at that and go, "Oh man, they stripped the hell out of this"? No, right?
no.
No, by
Well,
no means.
we're going to know the same thing on Kong. They're going to be saying the same thing. It's
Do you
not,
feel? Do you
it's
guys
stripped
feel
down.
like they stripped Kong?
No,
So you don't feel like the Pro is stripped? I don't.
I don't at
No.
all. Not at all. I played 5 games on each. I'm telling you, it's not.
Yeah. So I don't know but that is the counter argument. A lot of people go, "Hey, there's less stuff in it, so therefore they don't see the value." And I can't argue it if that's their personal preference. You know what I mean? If you value every mech in there, then you're kind of forced to buy the premium. And I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you could kind of say like maybe that person's priced out because they have a different. What they value in the machine is different than what I value in the machine. You know what I mean?
The conversation also started at dinner about how Spooky didn't raise prices, Stern hasn't raised prices. Jersey Jack's actually lowering prices if you think about it by adding
Yeah.
another
Adding that the arcade tier.
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah.
But we were saying that Dune hasn't raised. That Dune did raise prices.
Yeah, right.
Okay. But they put a lot in that Dune.
They put some value adds.
Okay.
You got the Invisiglass. What do you got? A shaker motor, or is that?
Yeah, it's shaker motor
Yeah, so
Shaker
Labyrinth
motor
didn't
and the
have a
lighting.
shaker motor. I don't know if you guys
and
knew
the
that.
lighting package.
That lighting, is that worth it? I don't know.
I don't know.
See. I'll find. We'll find out. Right.
We sure
But-
will know in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But they were the only company that raised prices.
Right.
They gambled. They're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Well, their whole pitch, right? Like if I'm following it right, it seems like there was a little campaign that they did prior to Dune launching, and I think their campaign was targeted at, we're going to show you additional value. It did go up, but we're going to give you a perceived value that you're going to feel good about the 11.6 or whatever the price is. I think that was their plan. Like, hey, let's keep talking because they have the shaker. They didn't have a shaker in Labyrinth. Invisiglass has always been something I think you either buy because you want it or you don't. But I guess including it's cool because it's you're not going to get as much glare on the glass. But and then what's the other on the lighting?
Lighting.
But that's always been stuff like I wonder if they got in a room and said, "Hey, Stern charges for this, this, and this. Let's include it, but with a marginal increase in our price because what is the increase? I don't even know. What was it? What was a Labyrinth?
I think it's like $1,000.
Was
I
it
think
gone
it's
up $1,000?
$1,000.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a shaker motor is like $129. Invisiglass is $229, and the expression lighting by Stern is like $499.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a pretty good
So,
value.
It's not
There
bad.
you go.
Yeah.
All right. The verdict is out.
The verdict is out. Way to go. No
But you are
problem. We-
forcing your customer. But you are forcing your customers to buy it. At least Stern, I can go, hey, I'm going to buy a Pro, and if
Right.
I want those things, I can
I
put them
think
in.
Barrel should do that. I think
Well,
like
Make 'em
you
accessories?
should
How
just
about
say,
this?
Here's your base model, and if you want because they're you're charging extra for the shooter rod anyway, and the topper.
This is something really interesting. Is Barrels of Fun, are they thinking about the operator? It seems like Jersey Jack has done a 180, not a 360. Because if they did a 360,
It'd be
actually,
right on back
you're going
to-
back the other way,
You're
the
going
same
back to
way.
yelling at you again.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that.
They did a 180.
Yeah,
and they're
sure.
like, you know what? We want to make an operator model.
Right.
It's $10,000. Right.
Yeah.
Barrel said, "Hold my beer. We're kind of showing you we're not worried about the operator because not only are they increasing prices, but they're giving you a coin door with one coin slot.
Right. You're stuck on the coin slot.
You're very-
and I
That's
understand.
that's a huge deal.
Honestly,
That's a
I'm not
huge-
an operator, so I don't understand.
Right.
Until we were in the car coming back on the way here, I didn't understand it. And you guys have both told me, both Rachel and Cale.
Yeah.
And this makes so much sense. You guys are at the arcade a lot, but sometimes you're not here.
Right.
And if you get a coin jam in one of the mechs, you just might block it off for a temporary till it's fixed, and the game's not down because you can use the other slot. I wasn't even thinking that. It's like, well, that happens. That game's down if it has one
Right.
coin slot. That's it until
And
you
one,
get here.
So people at home might not know this. The coin mechs have a magnet in them. Quarters do not hold magnetization, so they'll slide right through. Either do
Right.
tokens. But Canadian coins
Those
will
damn
get
Canadians.
They will get stuck.
What is in it?
And
Is it like a different metal mix
Obviously,
or something?
yeah. But they have a magnetic personality, just like real Canadians.
Yeah,
like
Joe.
human beings.
Gotta love Joe.
Gotta
but-
love Joe. You know, we're gonna. What is his disgruntled awards?
The degenerates.
Yeah, the pinball
We're
degenerates.
we need
yeah.
to get one of those.
Degenerate awards or something.
Well, we want to win a Twippy and a degen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we go full force. You know, he's the breakout creator. You've got 2 Twippies over there, I saw.
You want to see him?
We don't have to grab him now. I mean,
From now on, we're just
we
gonna lay 'em on the table.
know you won for. You beat the wormhole. Okay, so
yeah.
you won that.
Yeah, that could be slang for something.
Yeah, it could.
Oh, boy.
Spent
And
all
then
night beating
you,
the wormhole.
You also beat somebody else for the podcast. So, no. Anyway,
I don't even know where to go.
no, we're not going anywhere else.
What were we talking about? Oh, barrels of fun.
Yeah.
It seems like they're going after the home market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that must be what it is. I mean, because
It has to be, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
as an operator, do you really care if it has Invisiglass? You're going to turn the back
No.
box light down, and
Right.
it's going to look
Correct.
great.
We don't
and-
care
yeah.
about that. No.
No.
It's great for streaming.
Streaming,
though.
no.
God, it looks so crisp.
It's
I
so
know,
nice.
For streaming,
So
it's,
good.
For streaming, it is
So
pretty
good.
sick,
So
yeah.
great. I wish everyone would have it when I stream.
Right.
You
I
know.
think.
So we should be more than good.
Okay.
All right. So are we going to say,
Yeah. Hey guys, sorry we we ran out of memory on the
We ran out
memory,
of memory card.
We were gabbing for too long, but
We're
anyways,
back.
We're
back.
recording in 4K. That takes up data.
we're back.
Yeah,
We're back.
hey.
All right, are we moving on?
Well,
We were talking about barrels, and it looks like they're focused on.
let's
the
get another
home-
coin
the-
door from
the
our boy here.
Home buyer.
Let's
Right.
get another coin door for you,
gotta
and we
have
can make that happen.
The operators have to have it.
We got to make that
Come
happen
on,
for you.
They have to have
All
it.
right.
Okay, so
I think it's time for a quick. One of the favorite segments from last podcast was stupid Jamie Ralph story. So I think we've got another one here that I'd
no.
like
Where are
to
you
share
going
with
with
you.
this?
here we go.
Oh boy.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, during the Twippies, Ralph and I hung out at a gentleman's house named Russell Schrute,
Nice guy.
and
really nice
he's
guy.
great collection, dude. Seriously.
I would freak out, right?
Yeah, freak out. And his topper game's unmatched. So we go.
It really is, though, yeah.
I mean, it is. Okay.
I mean, he has stuff you can't even get.
So Ralph and I started playing some games, and he goes, "Hey, have you ever played Avatar?" And I said no, because I was ashamed to admit it, but I had never played Avatar. One, I wasn't invited to the Avatar event from you guys. Okay, wasn't big enough at the time.
Why do you say from you guys? I didn't.
Well, you guys were both invited.
I
to
wasn't
the
actually. I wasn't actually invited to that.
All right. Well, you were
To which one?
Avatar.
Oh yeah.
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 I was not
Me,
invited.
we weren't big enough yet.
Right, right,
We
right.
just weren't there yet.
Right.
And then
They didn't even know who the fuck I was.
Oh, that's what's true.
I don't even know how I got there.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. They're taking your advice. They just didn't know who you were.
Right.
So anyway, shake that off. So I had never played it, and Ralph was very kind to walk me through Avatar.
I thought I was helping you out. Yeah.
You were totally helping me out. Every time I had a chance to play it, ladies and gentlemen, the lines were just too long, and I was usually streaming at a tournament. I never just had a chance to
Yeah.
play. Okay, good preface. So we play it, had a great time. Very next day of the Twippies, we are at Barrels of Fun. Me and you are eating barbecue in the conference room.
Such good barbecue,
It
though.
really was corkscrew. God bless
Oh,
him.
Did we talk about this last episode?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was
Michelin
so good.
star.
Michelin
Yeah,
star.
this is
Michelin
good.
star. That's right.
Awesome. I'm sitting next to Ralph. Ralph is here.
Uh-huh.
I am here. And across is Aaron Seiden and Mark Seiden. who
Really
happen to-
close by. I could put
I
my
mean,
hand on his leg if I wanted to. It was
Very
that
close. Okay.
Right.
Ralph, eating his ribs, eating his brisket, says, I can't believe you've never played Avatar before. And I panicked.
Sometimes
okay?
I do
and I
say
lied.
stupid things.
Aaron, I lied to you right in front of you and Mark, and I'm really sorry. Okay. So I said, dude, of course I've played Avatar.
Yeah.
Because one, you put me on the spot, you made me look like a kind of a little bit of a jackass, so I panicked.
I know, and
I
so-
shouldn't have lied, but I panicked, and I
right.
made up a long story, Cale, that I had played Avatar, and that for some reason, I just thought it would be funny if I lied to you.
And you know, at this point, I was all messed up because I was like, maybe I couldn't tell if you played it or didn't play it because you had a good game on it. So I'm like, well, maybe he was just lying because you wanted me to choose a game that you already knew. I was really confused, man. And then I kept saying more dumb things.
Now he keeps asking me questions and he's hammering me like, but
front
you
of-
said
in front
you
of
didn't
them."
know in front of Mark's and Aaron's
And I
side.
knew it was Mark's side, and I just wasn't thinking that well that day.
So
I
they
didn't
left
sleep
the
good the
room
night
and I
before.
went to him and I went,
What the hell?
Right,
Ralph, what are you
I
doing to
know.
me in front of them? So this is a public apology to the Sidons. I'm very sorry. I lied. And and Ralph is potato head for calling me out. And it's
Yeah,
just
that was
another
dumb.
stupid Jamie Ralph story that we wanted to share with you. You guys wrote down something about me saying Sharmalai tonight.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So
Shamalai.
we should ask our...
Was that it was a mixed drink.
It was a mixed drink. It was a Sharmalai old fashioned.
A cocktail.
It was a cocktail, Sharmalai old fashioned.
And I said, "What are you talking about? Let me see the menu."
Yeah.
That's chamomile. You've never heard of chamomile?
No.
You would have thought that we showed him something, like some new atomic particle.
It's not
he
like
did not...
chamomile. What's it called?
Chamomile.
Chamomile. You've never seen, like, you could go to any place. You could go to, like, bed. Does your wife never buy candle? Like, there's chamomile everything. You can buy
Everywhere.
chamomile everything. You buy chamomile
I am a
shampoo.
moron. And there's no way
You're gonna have to ask
chamomile
Janine when
is
you get
in my
home.
vernacular
They
and
make
know
tea. They
anything
chamomile
about
tea.
chamomile.
Isn't chamomile tea like sleepy tea?
Yes.
That's chamomile.
That's what
It
Rachel
has
said.
the little bear with the
Yeah.
hat on.
when the
having
four
a
of
good
them
time.
were hammering Jamie for Charmalie.
Yeah.
It looks like Charmalie, and it's just
Marmalade.
It looks
my
like a better
God.
way of saying
Do
it.
you think that? I think we should. You know what? We should get together and just send this guy like a ton of chamomile
We
tea
will.
or something.
We will.
I'm never
There-
gonna
There
get it.
has to be a tea of the month club. We'll
We'll get you in it. You're enrolled.
We're
in
gonna
it.
hook you up.
Orbital Albert, if you're watching, I know you roast coffee. Maybe you roast Charmalie tea, and that would be delicious.
Chamomile. Oh my gosh. You're gonna-
Charmalie.
Chantilly.
Anyway.
I don't.
I've
This
never
had to
heard
be
of
in the
chamomile.
episode because we didn't even know what you were talking about. It wasn't.
I
even
don't know
right,
what I'm
right.
talking about. half the
This
time.
has to feel good.
So this is the stupid Jamie segment of the show. I did graduate college. It's a miracle,
Right.
Really. And I just graduated so that Janine would hook up with me and marry me. So
Bam.
there we go.
You did good.
I
kid.
did great.
You did good.
All
You did good.
right, let's leave it with this.
Okay.
Let's end with the Godzilla, King Kong next to it. How do we get these machines to talk to each other? Right?
This is my thing. Like, why? Like, why do we want to link to pinball machines? It's only been done one time with what was it, NBA Fast Break? Is that what it's called?
I think so. What
NBA
did it
Jams or
actually?
something?
What did it
Rachel
actually
will
do?
say. Oh, so you actually, Rachel and I played it at Banning at the Museum of Pinball in Banning, Southern California. It's not there any longer. It was an amazing place, a magical place. Can we
Yeah,
say that?
I never
Yeah.
got a chance to go.
So the whole deal is you would get two of these NBA games, and you would link them, and you had to have this special cable. I can't
It's
remember.
probably like a fiber optic cable
It
or something.
was
yeah.
something, and then you would actually you would play like you're playing basketball, and you would have a score, and they were like low scores. I don't know if you've played it.
Would-
Yeah.
I mean you
would the
could win with like
machine-
5
So would you both be?
for real.
Would a drain like mean the other guy won or got a point
I can't
or something?
exactly remember, but like yeah, it was something like that. But and now I'm seeing all this talk about. I hope you're able to link Godzilla and King Kong, but like why? I don't understand it. Why not link like AC/DC and Aerosmith and have Aerosmith open up for AC/DC? I don't.
Aerosmith would have to open up for AC/DC.
But I mean, the reason I don't think you're ever going to see this, besides like how would that even work? Like,
Right.
it's a
It's a
licensing
licensing.
nightmare.
It is really a very stupid thing
What I would
that
like to
people
see,
want
though,
to see.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's so stupid.
It is just like, what are you thinking?
It's not real. It's never going to happen.
But you know
it
Think
could
of
be
the
cool.
licensing goddamn nightmare to try to get an unlicensed game of King Kong
Right.
to a licensed game of Godzilla. It's never going.
How do you even do that?
no,
It's
you probably
never
don't.
going to happen.
But let's say it wasn't a licensing issue. What does
Like,
it
what do
mean?
you want it
Okay,
to do?
now they're linked up. What do you do?
Fight in the ocean.
I don't know.
I
Like,
mean,
I
what,
mean-
what are they
Okay,
going to
so
do?
like I'm Godzilla and you're King Kong.
It's
but you're
stupid.
not King Kong in the game.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's stupid, and it's never going to happen. I don't know why this keeps floating
So
around
you're
on Pinside.
people, please stop.
That's why this is our we're doing a lot of public service announcements on the roundtable.
Yeah.
Don't you think that our public service announcement of the day should be let's stop the Kong and Godzilla together. Put them next to each other.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to look badass in the bat.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. It's going
It
to
will look very
It's
cool.
going to
It'll
look
look very good
really
together,
cool.
yeah.
It's going
Right,
to look
right,
really
right.
great at Eureka Heights. Let's just leave it at that, and they're two separate games, and let's just move on. That's
Yeah.
my public service.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't even know. I guess I didn't even really get that invested. Like, I just kind of thought there's no way that will happen licensing wise, and kind of moved on. But the only thing I've been kind of like I've talked about before that I think would be cool, and I want to be careful with this because I enjoy playing on location and in a real tournament, but it would be kind of neat if I had a game and you had a game, like we had the same game as home buyers, and I could somehow through Insider Connected play you. Like again, like you'd be the player too, but you'd be like a virtual player too, and we'd have the like it would work like you and I local, right? But it would do something like my game would go dark when your turn was up or something, and like everything would, you know what I'm saying? Like like that could be kind of cool.
I
like
think that would be
linking
super
over the internet,
cool.
not for a tournament.
I think
virtual,
Jersey
but
Jack's
like
probably
going to
be the first one to do it though, because they already have
Well,
the
didn't
camera
what's
in
his
place.
name already do it? I thought the P3 guy did it. I thought he could do
Oh,
that.
you could. Yeah. You for years.
Like
you've
you
been
can
able,
play against
yeah.
each other online.
There was
I
a
think.
racing game that you could. Yeah, he's been doing that for years and years.
But it
and
doesn't
years.
seem like, and maybe it's just because they don't have many of those units out there. I don't really ever hear anybody talking about that.
Right.
It's a fantastic feature. I love playing Call of Duty with this dude, so I think it would
man, I
be
wanna do that
so-
now.
and I do.
But
actually.
here's my thing with that.
Is this a stupid idea though? Like if you
No.
I think it is.
okay,
You think having a camera there so we could see each other?
It
would
doesn't
be-
matter.
Would it be cool?
Just because there are infinite possibilities of setting up a pinball machine. You're not on a level playing field
Yeah.
because you're going to have to. Okay, what's your pitch?
Wah,
do you
wah.
have rubbers on the post or
Is
not?
my glass on?
Yeah, is my glass on? You know,
I mean, you know what I mean?
but not just that.
I like to beat you. I might take that glass off.
right. But these are hand built machines,
Yeah.
and even like.
I know you one from the
Some-
other. They're
one-
different.
Yeah,
One of
like
us
you,
has
you
to
can
be the
you can
adult in
open
the
up a
room.
brand new Stern.
know.
Like you can open
Thanks
up a
for
brand new
killing my
Stern,
dream.
same game, right? You can open one at your house, and I open one at my
They
house.
play
They can
different.
play completely
I know.
differently.
Yeah. It's
You
true.
You know
know?
what's funny? Kale just reminded me of this thing this happened to me. So this was
Okay.
when I was collecting. I had like multiple storage units filled with arcades, right? Like, cause you kind of looked at me and said he shattered my
Yeah.
dream. It wasn't really a dream. It's just funny how he's like, yeah, this isn't a good idea. So there's a guy locally that used to be in the arcade business like forever here in Phoenix, and he came to my house because I bought something from him. So he was dropping it off. And at this time, I was very gung-ho on me opening up an arcade bar, but I don't know anything about running a bar, right?
Sure.
And we were talking for a while, and he's like an older guy, and he looks at me, he's like, "Kid, look, I'm gonna probably say something you're not gonna like." He's like, "You have no right to open up an arcade bar, and I think it's a really bad idea, and I don't think you should do it." But my face went from excitement to
I think
like
I
he
know who this
completely
is.
he deflated the shit out of me. I mean, I was so. And I remember calling my buddy. I'm like, "Hey man, I don't really think I'm gonna pursue this arcade bar thing." And he goes, "Why?" I goes, "I don't know. This guy came over my house to drop something off. He just killed it. He killed it for me." But I was like, he's right. I don't know how to run a bar. What the hell do I know how to run a bar? So anyways, I don't know.
That's what Cale just did to you.
Did that to me. Yeah. But it is, now that you did bring up a lot of variables. Like, how would you know half the stuff that's going on the other side?
Yeah. Unless you could do it through Insider Connect.
Yeah, but then they'd have to
You
put
could do everything but the
like,
pitch. You could make sure the settings are correct. Boom, 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 boom. Settings.
Yeah.
It could work.
It's actually kind of like when we were doing what's that
There's
thing
some
that Stern,
possibilities.
What's the thing Stern just did? I really liked it. It was like a couple months back. What was that thing called? The race thing?
Yeah.
I liked the race thing, but there was some serious shenanigans going on with the race.
I know.
Because I was playing with people. What was cool is if you logged in here and you were doing the race, you'd then see on your phone the people at the bat you were competing against. Everyone here was very like, it was normal. I'm like, look, I can understand that person going to the bat and playing and making that score. There were people that in the first 2 hours had a score that didn't even mathematically make sense. Like, there's no way they could put that much time on the game. I know, but that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit. Like, we were all trying to play it and have fun.
I know. There's always one bastard who ruins it for the rest of us.
And someone at Stern's we can't put, because here's the thing. If those people are going to cheat, you could put a sensor that tells you when the glass is off. They'd probably put a piece of tape over the sensor and then
for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
There's no way around it. I mean,
always be
these
cheating.
games. This is not what this was designed for. These were designed for people to get together.
Yeah, get together, and that's really what's important.
You can play 4 players on this machine. This is not an Xbox. You know, this is more like an N64.
Do you think though that they'll try to incorporate more, because they got to do some more stuff with Insider Connected? But you think it'll be more like stuff like we see on D&D versus it becoming like a connected console with another pinball machine? You don't really think that's the direction they're going to go with it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's something I'm not thinking of, but it just right now it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, because it's not apples and apples. You know, every machine is very different.
It would be cool though if they some people have large collections. I think and everyone's been asking for home leaderboards for a long time. It would be cool if you could run a non-sanctioned, just you get your buddies together at your house and do a non-IFPA, have the software do all of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You would take your games, it would put them all in an arena, just to have fun with your buddies or something. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I
I think
next
home
match
leaderboards
play.
are coming.
I think so too.
that's the rumor, right? I think they have to come.
Even just to see your scores, I think it'd be cool. Like a lot of people that play here have home collections. It would be cool to know, hey, you play this game at the bat too. By the way, you rank number 1 at your house with the 5 buddies you play, but you're ranked number 30 at the bat. That'd be kind of cool.
Are you going to set up a little TV and have a Stern home leaderboard at your house?
I actually, you don't know I did this? I had Mason make a fake mock-up leaderboard. So every time I'd get a new score, I'd send it to Mason, and he'd edit a file, and it plays on my TV.
That is cool.
Please tell me you don't pay him for that. You're not paying him money for it, are you? He's just doing that.
Well, it's not
free.
it's not a subscription service. No, yes.
I mean, you're doing this for you have your own leaderboard at your house.
It only worked for a little while because every time I'd get a better score, he's like, "Dude, really? I've updated this freaking
Right. So you have
I shouldn't
a
even be
home
admitting
home
this.
board.
This is dumb. I shouldn't even admit this. Can we wrap up the show or something?
Oh my God! You really have a home leaderboard? Did you set up a TV?
Yes, there's a TV.
Do you have? Does Michael Grant send you?
It says welcome to
Stern Army stuff.
It says welcome to Retro Ralph's Arcade, and it says Stern. It even says Stern authorized location as a joke.
Oh my God!
Am I gonna get made fun of for this?
No, just from me.
No, I think I'm actually gonna. This is one of those regret moments.
No, we're not editing it out.
You're
It's
fine.
great. It's fantastic.
We're keeping all of it.
We're keeping all of it.
Man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for another last edition.
You didn't lie to me. Are we really sponsored by these people?
No, they didn't give me any money. She didn't give me shit. I just really like her product.
You have to have this. If you're in Arizona, you have to.
Oh my God, it's an absolute must
Pinball.
when you go to another planet.
It's pretty epic.
You go to the desert. But hey, thank you. First of all, thank you for being gracious hosts. You guys have rolled out the red carpet for me and John and my friend Mike, who's coming tomorrow. And we're so excited to be at Chewy's tournament, but it's not Chewy's. Rachel's going to be running it tomorrow.
Chewy's on a cruise right now.
So
yeah. So it's Rachel's world famous all classics bounty knockout tournament.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I'm pumped. And then, of course, Tuesday. And unfortunately, you're gone. You're working.
Yep.
But Tuesday, I can't wait
League
to
night.
play League Night.
Oh,
That's our
yeah,
league night.
I wish
plus
I was going to
people.
be here.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
This is just fantastic. It's a dream come true. We've been planning this for so many months before we even thought of the Pinball Roundtable. So I'm so excited.
And I have to mention, we went to dinner tonight before this, and that was awesome. Like really good food, right?
Honestly,
thank you for that too. That was a good
place called Valentine's. They're not a sponsor of the show, but the chef came and brought the food to us. He's a James Beard Award winning chef, and God, I didn't think the food was going to be that fantastic.
It was ridiculously good, like off the charts good.
And
so
the
if you're ever in
company
Phoenix,
was so wonderful.
Yeah,
God
it was great,
bless us
man.
all.
God, and we ate outside.
Yeah.
What do they call that? Al fresco, right?
they call it chamomile.
Chamomile.
and by candlelight, it was really intimate.
It was
nice.
It was lovely, and thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you for driving all the way over here to hang with us tonight.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. We're going to do this monthly, ladies and gentlemen, so you won't see another one of these till May. But the Pinball Roundtable next, it's your turn to.
Yeah.
And we won't actually be together.
No,
in
that'll
person.
be our
There's
first
special occasions. Only on special occasions.
Yeah. What app do we use? Restream.
Riverside FM.
Riverside. Yeah.
So we'll set that up on Riverside. Again, you're watching us. If you're just listening to us on all the podcast stations, we are going to post this on our YouTube channel. Just search JBS Show from there. That's it. Anything else, boys? Am I missing anything?
That's it. We did it all. We said it all.
We did it all. Hey, great steering the ship, man.
Well, yeah, it was my pleasure. It's really nothing. You don't need to thank me because I'm always here for you.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I love these.
And
two.
me, I don't know. I'm here for you until I say something stupid, and then I don't know.
And then, well, we need more content anyway, so there'll be something stupid
just
that
know
we're both
I will
going
at
to do.
least do one stupid thing monthly, which would probably be in the podcast. So there you go.
Now we're about to go out there and play some pinball. What are you itching to play right now?
You know, I was itching to play Metallica Remaster because I had never played it.
This was
That
your
was my first time.
Are you kidding me?
No, honestly, because
Your reaction was pretty cool. You were like, "Man, they did a really good job on this."
So I've been over people's shoulders watching them play multiple times, but the lines have always been too damn long.
Okay.
And we didn't have any on public location in Houston, so I never got a chance to
You
play
know what
it.
I'm really angry that we didn't do at Stern? Talk to John Borg, because we were talking about this. Why does this Metallica shoot so much better? What did you do?
I don't know.
Right?
I wish I knew the geometry
we
of
should
the
have
shots.
asked him.
Because
Nobody knows. They have secrets.
I put
They're
up
keeping
120
secrets.
million on
I mean,
it.
do
and
you think-
I
You would have never done
put
that.
up 120 on
You're
the
lucky,
regular Metallica.
right? You're lucky to get like 10 or 15.
So I don't know. Maybe they saw that there could be some tweaks to the geometry just so slightly that it makes it maybe a little bit more fair and more fun. I don't know.
I love the new songs too.
Yeah, and they had enough time to do that. Because think about that. This game, we were supposed to end the podcast, but we were just going to keep
we'll
on
talk
going.
Metallica.
Yeah, so, I mean, they had a game that so many people have played and loved over the years. And you know, Borg has been able to play it and get input from his friends. And you heard on when Elwin was on Triple Drain's latest pod, that epic 3.5 hour long.
But it was good.
But
They were in the room next to us when we were doing this.
right.
Yeah,
That
they
was,
were in that room forever.
100%. That was magical.
Yeah.
But the thing, Keith was talking about how when he was doing the whitewood for not Godzilla, King Kong, and just like move like that side ramp where you just moved it a little bit, and that made it to where it was like, oh, it all flowed. I mean, maybe they just moved things just a little bit on Metallica. I don't know, but I would love to get like an official word, like. And I know there's more ball saves, which makes it a little bit more playable.
Yeah.
But what else did they do?
It's really beautiful. I at first didn't like Sparky. Now I really like Sparky.
Yes.
I really like the hammer, even though it's enormous. I like it.
On the original game, it does tell you like how many more times you have to hit the hammer to qualify the lock and stuff, right? Or is that
I don't
new?
think it does.
I don't think it does.
And same with Sparky. That information
really
was
like
not. That was not in the DMD.
Sparky was
Oh, it was
underneath the lights, right? That's
So
where
I think there was
yeah.
lights, but you're saying like on the hammer and the graveyard, like none of that stuff. You didn't know when you were qualifying.
I don't believe so.
Or maybe it was just
Someone's going to
light-based.
kill
Or,
us if we're wrong.
Unless
That's
you
a
had
fact.
to like hold in a flip or trap
Yeah.
your ball and hold in a flipper to get.
Because I like
the
having that information, even though the game's chaotic. If I
Uh-huh.
can trap up and look, I'll go, oh, okay, if I set this up this way, then I can roll this multi-ball into the next one. So
Right, right.
especially if I'm playing it in a tournament here, like I'll try to, and everyone else also does that same strategy,
Yeah.
but we try to, keep that going. It's like you're feeding one multi-ball into the other one. And if you do it right, you can get Sparky, and you can go from that to Hammer, and then go from that to I always forget the name of the one. What do they call the one with the graveyard? I can't remember what that's called. Is it Tombstone? I can't remember.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
you can roll them. It's cool.
Well, if somebody gets Borgon, ask them these questions because we need to know.
Yeah,
Everybody wants. It's not just us.
Yeah,
more
people wanna know.
Everybody wants to know.
You're right.
The guys, everybody.
Yeah. Someone loser kid, they'll get them on. Or if we get them on,
something.
don't ask them. Don't
I
tell
wonder
them
if
that I
Ray
never
Day
played
would
it.
know, like, because he worked on.
He would know.
He would probably know.
He would
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Well, they've done a fantastic job, and we did talk about that at dinner tonight.
But that's not the game you want to go play right now. If we ever do end this podcast,
Oh.
you want to go.
I want to go play D&D some more,
I knew it. I
yes.
knew it.
and then I want to
How
play
about
Evil
that?
Dead.
Evil Dead and D&D.
Let's
That's
go play
at
it.
the top of your mind.
Yeah, I want to put some more time on D&D to level up my character and watch this guy play, and then I want to play some more Evil Dead.
Okay, but back to pinball and tournament play. Tomorrow you're going to play in a tournament.
Yeah, classics.
It's all classics. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, I've played classics. We have an EM tournament in Houston that we play, put on by Spencer. Great dude, Spence, Gaskin, and thank you, Spence. And I normally suck and get eliminated pretty much in about 6 rounds.
But now in this tournament you can win money. Even
I'm not going to win Jack tomorrow. What
Okay.
I'm here is for fun and entertainment and to try to get on the stream with Serge. Am I going to meet Serge tomorrow?
who is Serge?
Isn't that his name?
That is his name, but who? Like the people watching probably don't know who Serge
Well,
is.
if you're not watching Twitch, you're just on Twitch, right?
Right,
On
right.
the Electric Bats channel. Surge is the rules. Well, please, you talk
he
about
is
Surge.
he is the absolute rules master, and we
He
did
is
not
good.
know if you go back to our Twitch channel and watch some of the VODs and see Serge on there. He is, and we didn't know this when I started buying streaming gear to stream the Arizona State Championship. The one that just happened. I think that was in January. He was like, "Oh, I want to, do the commentary." I was like, "Sure, yeah, you can do it." I was like, "He's, highly intelligent." We did not expect this.
So you didn't know that he was going to come on and just destroy it and be awesome at
Nobody
this?
had
wow.
a clue.
He's unbelievable.
He's
Yes.
so good.
And you can go back. I've been watching it because I'm learning stuff about games I've been playing for 20 years.
I can't wait to do color commentary with him tomorrow.
Right.
Because I'll get knocked out pretty quickly.
Yeah. And for those of you,
He's pretty confident.
Yeah, right. And for
Jim,
those
you
of
got
you at
this.
home who haven't seen Serge do any commentary, it is like it's very educational, and the way he describes everything is just amazing. And he has almost a photographic memory of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he'll know.
And you can
he'll
see
like,
that on the podcast.
He'll like
I mean,
hone
on the
in.
Twitch.
Yeah.
He'll like hone in and be like, okay, and I'm gonna make this up, but whatever. He'll be like, okay, he's got that light locked. He spelled this. He'd be like, if I was playing, this would be my next move. And like usually, he can almost predict because that, especially if he knows the player knows the game.
right.
Yeah.
He'll be like, this is what I would do, and sure enough, like they'll do that thing. It's just he knows the games. Like I don't know, I'm fascinated by someone that can process and keep all that stuff in their brain because
It still blows my
I
mind.
can't wait to sit with him. And when you watch this, I'll already be sitting with him. So
Right.
check that out on VOD on demand on the Electric Bats Twitch channel. And then also check out Retro Ralph live and Retro Ralph
Oh, jeez.
at the flip side. What am I doing? What are you got?
There's two channels.
All right, let's
There's
talk about
Retro
it.
Ralph on YouTube, and that has produced content.
Okay.
And sometimes pinball live streaming. And then Retro Ralph Live is the Flip Side podcast. The reason why I didn't rename the channel the Flip Side podcast is because I did it temporarily, and SEO on that sucks because it was no one knows what the flip side is. There was other things called the flip side. So by putting Retro Ralph in it, if you type Retro Ralph, you're gonna automatically get both. So it just made sense. But I did try changing it for a while. It just didn't work from like a search engine optimization standpoint. So
Riveting.
yeah, you love
Thank
that, huh? Yeah, I love that. See, it's freaking awesome.
And of course,
This guy-
at the Electric Bat on all the socials, Instagram, everything.
Facebook, TikTok.
The gram.
Yeah, we're on TikTok.
You on Blue Sky?
No.
Okay.
No, and not for any reason.
No, I'm just-
No, not for
I'm
any
being-
reason. I just,
don't listen to
man,
me.
I've got a lot going on.
I don't even know what that is. So is that chamomile?
And what else are we? What else are we on? Twitch, twitch.tv/Electric Bat Arcade. It's a lot of fun. And
check out your Discord channel. You know,
the
get people
Discord's
on your
great.
Discord. I
You're
like
in
your
the
Discord. Yeah.
We use it to chat on COD.
On COD.
Yep. And Rachel and I are doing another episode of the Electric Batcast. We have a podcast,
Yes, you do.
and we are doing that on Monday.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So you will have something to listen to on your flight home.
There you
My
go.
absolute favorite podcast, Twippy Award winner.
Twippy Award winner, right?
And you've already found me, so you're here.
Undefeated Twippy Award winner.
Oh, yeah, this is your first.
Yeah. Undefeated. What do you think?
I think, again, thank you, Pinball. I appreciate the sponsorship. We're very excited to be joined with you and working with you in the future.
And we're gonna maybe end it sometime.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
We're going to end this,
Yeah,
this
that's
podcast?
enough. That's enough. Let's go play. Let's go play
right.
D&D.
Okay, let's go do
Thanks,
it.
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you on the flip side. Did we say that?
No,
That's
that's
what I
his.
say.
That's what
Aw,
his
man.
is. That's good.
You guys are all messed up. Go to retro. We had retro chamomile. It's exceed retro. Ralph.
I'm out.
Gosh,
Bye.
all right.